Yeah, no, it comes in as water.
All right, good morning. 6:30, April 5th, first week of quarter one, or actually quarter two, I'm sorry. So second quarter of 2019, we finished quarter one with only one recordable. So we will hopefully continue that trend, but we'll get started this morning. So code of conduct this week, don't overpromise or underdeliver. Biggest thing is just good communication. That one really speaks to me. It's just let's really talk our issues out. You got issues, concerns, whatever. Let's talk them through. Let's try not to overpromise or underdeliver to each other, to our clients, people that we're working for. So 91 days, we're getting close to that 100 threshold that we like to see, those triple digits, and keep moving. Like I said before, we're quarter two now. We brought 15 guys off a layoff, and we hired 4 this week. So we got 19 more people working. Our exposures are going to go up. Work starting. We're mobilizing to job sites, and that's kind of why we're talking about our excavation series. And over the next month, we're really going to hammer home this point regarding excavations, our probable incidents that we might have when it comes to cave-in potential, utility strikes from power, gas, and things like that. So this week we're going to talk about respecting the marks. Next week we got a little bit on tolerance zones and safe work practices around those underground utilities. The 19th, Dave Attic will be here to talk about digging around Vermont gas lines. And then the 26th, we're going to get into a little bit of the regulations, and we're going to conclude the excavation stuff on the 3rd, actually, of May, to talking about cave-in protection and some of our safe work practices about how to protect ourselves from cave-ins. So that's kind of our agenda for the next 5 weeks. So moving forward, last year we had a really good year when it comes to utility strikes. We only had 7 total damage reports. 3 of them were unmarked or abandoned in place utilities. One of them was actually a meter box or pushing snow, so it really wasn't digging underneath the ground. So it only leaves 3 that we had last year. 3 total damage reports when it comes to underground utilities. And again, that causal factor, that kind of root cause analysis, was the biggest thing. Was we lost the marks, we assumed the location, we kept digging anyway. So it's just kind of a little bit behavior things. I think we're well trained, but again, we just need to make sure that we always know where our utilities are anytime we're mechanically digging or horizontal directional drilling around any ground utilities. So again, last year, let's keep that momentum up. Let's really keep the utility strikes down. So respecting the marks, again, hopefully everybody knows the color coding system. Again, we have these little cards that we can issue out if people need them. But again, red, okay, power lines, yellow, gas, orange is communication. Those are the ones you mostly see from our utility locating company, UGIC, I'm sorry. They'll come out and locate orange, red and orange mostly. Vermont Gas does their own with yellow. Towns will take care of their own water lines and sewer lines. So for us, it's just pink and white. Pink is our survey. White is our proposed excavation mark. So those are the kind of color coding systems out there that you'll see when we get to a job site. We want to make sure we're maintaining these marks. We're digging around, we're finding, we're locating them, we're creating our excavation or our board plan around these utilities. There's a whole shakeup with the underground locating company here in town. We're hoping it's going to be better than last year. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, call Health and Safety, and we'll guide you in the right direction, making sure that it's getting remarked or any additional markings could be on site, because we also have 2 locators here that in-house that we can go out and take care of that stuff. So when it comes to respect the marks, some safe work practices. So establish offsets. What we mean there is take some grade stakes and create offsets off the marks that we see, so we can always refer back to that point and where that underground utility potentially can be. So if we're removing asphalt or taking topsoil off and the paint's on the topsoil, just create an offset, and then you can always go back and verify it later. Avoid driving machinery over stakes or flags. If we have to move stuff, again, create those offsets so you can remove those marks and always go back to them. Don't put your spool piles over the markings. Happens very frequently where we miss marks because we quickly get into a site and we put a bunch of piles on stuff, and then we're like, oh, where's that utility? So it kind of always goes back to when you get to a site, let's create offsets or pull ties off our markings. And then refresh. A lot of the times it's like they're coming out and they're doing a half or a quarter of a mile of markings. Well, it doesn't hurt to always have the paint in your truck. Downstairs in the tool crib, we have every color that there is. Always go back and remark stuff. Keep marks fresh as much as possible. And then call health and safety. When you're uncertain, we can always come and verify some things for you. We can try to give you an idea in depth if there's an issue, or if you're doing a lot of potholing one day, call us and we can probably pinpoint those type of utilities. And again, in the state of Vermont, it's 48 hours to request a remark. So that's why it's very important to help save time on projects that we do these types of steps, because it could be 2 days before they get back out there to remark if we eliminate our marks as we get to the job site. So is there any questions regarding utilities? Joe?
I've got one comment, and maybe it's the same with Jordan. A lot of the municipalities, and definitely the state, are not members of DigSafe, and so their facilities definitely won't ever get marked by DigSafe. If you're digging anywhere near a town right away or a state right away, you definitely want to make sure to call.
Yeah.
We have contacts with the state. It's only like one person,
yeah,
unfortunately, but in municipalities, it's usually.
But that's a great point. Don't, ideally that's kind of on the project team to get the job going and making sure that we're making all those cards. We're following that checklist on the DigSafe ticket. Yeah.
I would recommend taking photos. Use your phone or camera and take photos when you first start the job with all the fresh marks. So you got some sort of reference instead of calling out a remark.
Yep. And I think taking pictures is great. It helps us go back. If there is a utility strike, I think that's a great technique. But again, we can't beat offsets. So if we start doing this and we become the religion of creating offsets, we're really gonna be able to always refer back to those utilities. So this is right here is one of the most important parts of respecting the marks out there, maintaining those marks. Okay. Thank you.
I think also you find that, where maybe DigSafe put the little flags out that it's on a mowed area, and you come back on Monday morning, it's been mowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to those? How did they get moved or just left off after the mowing? Yeah. So we have our spring excavation series. So good stuff to keep in mind. Remember, the idea behind the safety topic of the week is to kind of go out right away and start working that into our process. So announcements, we have new hires. We have a Jake Stark, John Kolowitz, and Leo Audette. Any of you guys here?
Jake Stark.
You're Jake?
Yep. Leo Audette.
Leo. And what about Ken King coming back? Ken in here? Oh, okay. All right, so then also we have a change in the Champlain Medical, and welcome all you new people. A change in the time or the day for the Champlain Medical Wellness Room over here. That's changed to the 15th, so it's a week later than originally posted. And we have a new baby in the group, Reagan Marie Johnston, born on March 31st at 2:34 a.m. I guess that must be. Of course, they don't do anything at the normal times of day. 21 inches and 8 pounds 12 ounces. Good sized girl, and daughter of Dave Johnson. Dave here?
He's tuning in on.
Oh, he's tuning in. Okay.
Coach training.
Oh,
right here.
All right here. Congratulations, Dave. And what a cute little baby, Reagan. All right. And then project, we're profiling the Mill Yard Wall Stabilization in Winooski. We're contracted with the Mill Yard Condominium Association to perform repairs to an old mill building foundation wall, which was used and is used as a retaining wall along a newer condominium building. And the cut stone, brick, concrete, and rubble retaining wall supports a sidewalk and parking lot, plus acts as an abutment for 3 bridges, pedestrian bridges that serve for the entry into the building. So you see the bridge above, and you see their problem there. That was a before picture, and it's a variety of everything. You can see brick, you can see some cut stone, you can just see a mess, and there's areas of concrete too. So they had to fix that, repair that wall, and we did it with these hollow bar anchors. So we're stabilizing the wall with grounded hollow bar anchors and shotcrete facing. We used the TEI drill attachment, the new one, for the hollow bar anchors, and the new Schwing SP500 concrete pump for the shotcrete work. So you can see the newer mill building here and the old foundation from the old building, and some concrete here and the anchors that we installed, the hollow bar anchors. And then you see some of the, we used a steel mesh, and the anchors have nuts and plates. And then I think this is the far end, which really supported by a much more massive structure. But as you saw from that previous photo, some of the entrances were in pretty tough shape underneath the bridges there. And here we are shooting it from some staging. And the new pump working away. Again, there's one of those entryways. And there's view from up top, working very close to the building itself. And that's what we got for picture there. For archives, we have a young, is that Scott Burns?
It is.
Oh my.
Curly.
I don't see a hard hat.
Now, you're right, there's no hard hat. And those look like sneakers or something there.
Got some curls there.
Yeah, he had those curly hairs on the back of his head there. He was pretty buff back then too, wasn't he? So,
Yeah, what is he doing?
I think all right, have a good day out there. Be safe. Remember, excavation and dig safely.